Thank you for joining me for this tutorial, how to build your first project in Servoy. Well, we're going to create a new solution and then create two forms, one on customers and one on orders. We'll create two relations. We'll create a portal and a tab panel. And finally, we'll deploy this thing to both the smart and web clients. Let's pop over to Servoy Developer and get started. The first thing we're going to do is right-click on All Solutions and say Create a New Solution. We'll call ours First Project and click Finish. Now that we have our project, we can create our forms. So right-click on Forms, Create New Form, and then we're going to go ahead and from the table, we're going to choose to use the example data, Customers, and click OK. And that will automatically put in the name for us up here. I'm going to call mine FRM for Form Customers. Click Next. And we're going to choose a few columns here. It doesn't really matter for our example. And click Finish. All right, now we have our sample customer form. Let's go ahead and rearrange this a little bit. I'm going to click to drag and now move these objects. I can also choose Select All, which is Command A, and move everything together. Now save using Control S for save. And now we'll create our second form, which is going to be an order form. Right-click on Forms, New Form, and this time we're going to make an order form. Choose Orders, OK, and rename this one FRM Orders. Click Next, and here we're going to choose a few columns as well. Click Finish. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and rearrange these fields as well. We'll pull these over here to the right. Do Control A for Select All and move them up. All right, so we have our customers and our orders form. Now what we're going to do is create a relation so we can show the order items on this order. So we're going to come down to Relations, right-click, and say Create Relation. And the server that we want to choose is called Example Data, and the table is going to be Orders. Now we're going to choose the example data on the right-hand side and choose Order Details. Now we need to line up the columns. So on the From side, choose Order ID, and on the To side, also choose Order ID. You can leave all the other options as they are. Click Save or do Control S, and we're going to make one more and choose Create Relation. This time we're also going to go from the example data, but this time we're going to go from Customers over to Orders. And we're going to choose the customer ID on both sides. Click Save. All right, and now we have our relations. We can close these two tabs. All right, we can click to deselect the objects. Now let's go ahead and add a portal so that we can show our order items. So we're going to click this button that says Place Portal, and we're going to choose all of these columns. We're going to uncheck the labels and check the text property so that the name of the column shows up automatically on our portal. Now we have our portal object. We can drag it, and we'll expand it. While we're here, we're also going to set some of these properties. We're going to make it reorderable, resizable, and sortable. So now we need to save this form. Now let's go back over to our customers. And what we want to do is we want to show all of the orders and order items for every customer. So we're going to use something called a tab panel. So we can come up here, click a tab panel, and now we have the option of choosing a related form or an unrelated form. And we're going to use the related form, so all of the orders will be filtered automatically by this relation. And click OK. So Servoy puts in a placeholder for me of where this form is going to appear, and I'm going to click and drag and resize it. And save our form. Control S for save. Now we're going to go ahead and see how it looks. So to do that, we have to deploy it. So now, by clicking this button, I can deploy it to the native client or the smart client. And here we see that I have all of my customers and their 6 filtered orders. So as I go down here, we can see each one of these customers and their orders. If I scroll over here, I can do things like move around the columns. I can also do my click sorts. So that's how you get it to the Smart Client. Now let's get it over to the Web Client. So we're going to come back to our developer and click the Start Web Client button. And so here we have our same solution. As we page through, it looks just like it does in our Smart Client, only now this is in a browser using Ajax. Well, that's about it for this tutorial. This is how easy it is to get started using Servoy. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial.